Okay, so now we are done with our ninth step. So it has been pushed into the Heroku. So now let's see Heroku open, which would be opening the Heroku website. Here we get application error. However, we get the URL. If you notice, COVID learning herokuapp.com URL, but we get application error because of we didn't have index.html. However, you could type dog home, you still have error because that we didn't change the app config file, application properties file, and we didn't configure with database, right? So now we will do those steps. So for that, we will start with installing our PostgreSQL in the command line prompt. Okay, so now we have to configure the database. So what we will do is we will install PostgreSQL in order to configure the database by copy pasting this command. You could type that command. And it has been installed properly. Okay, and the next step is we have to let's open now. Okay, Heroku open and see what we get. We still have application error, and we will open dog home. No dog. We still have the error because we didn't change that in the application configuration file in order to connect to this database, as well as we need to put some dependencies as well. Okay, so now look at the 11th step. Okay, so we need to add necessary information for this add-on. We just add on the PostgreSQL, and what we need to do is we need to do dependencies into our project and modify the application file to this. What dependency that we have to do? We have to use for PostgreSQL. Okay, PostgreSQL dependency. So you know how to search for PostgreSQL dependency, right? PostgreSQL dependency. So you could use mavenrepository.com, central repository, and you could select the first version, or the latest version, and able to copy paste the dependency. Okay, and in your Eclipse, make sure you copy paste that in the pom.xml file with all the dependencies. Okay, so I copy pasted near the dependency. Okay, save it. And in the same step, what we need to do is we have to modify our application properties file. Okay, so let's see the application properties file, what we have there. In the application properties, we have Spring data source URL, but here we used JDBC MySQL, the pets database, and then there we used our username, password, demos 123. And we normally connect this to Hibernate and all that stuff, right? So we will be connecting with Hibernate as well with PostgreSQL, but we have to change this information here. Okay, so for that I have given, all these things are same, username, password, but you have to change this. So this dollar symbol, whatever the JDBC database password, would be able to come through our Heroku. Okay. Okay, I am doing control// to comment, control// to comment it, and then pasting here with all these things. Okay, so This is what you need to use that later. Okay, I'm saving this as well. Okay, so now we have to go to the 12th step. So 12th step is git push Heroku master. So because we made some changes to our code, so we have to push it again. Okay, so what we need to do is, let's do that. Let's push. Okay, before pushing we need to commit, right? So let's use commit before we push. Modified app properties file and what else we changed? App properties file and uh, pom.xml dependency. Okay, so changes not staged for commit. So we got this error. So before we commit, we need to push all these files, right? So let's push. We don't have to pull because I'm the only one who is using. We don't have to pull. Let's push this first. I have that command also here. Uh, yes, we need to add all the files. Okay, so push would be after committing. We will add the files. Okay. Okay. So which has been added. Okay. So which is pom.xml and the file in the editings in the working directory. Okay, so it has been there. So the next step is we need to do with commit. Okay, so we will be doing commit. What's a commit command? I'm just copy pasting this. I cannot do this, right? I cannot copy paste. Let me write this git commit and modified app properties file and pom.xml. I'm committing for the second time. I'm sure you might have committed in your life for several times. Okay, so it has been committed. Okay, so we added files, we committed, and then we have to push. Okay, so let me use that push, git push Heroku master. I think it will take a moment for you to get it. Okay, so it has been pushed now to the git. So let's open Heroku and see whether we'll have that website or not. Okay, so we have this white label error. Okay, so we got this. So why we got white label error? Because we didn't have any index.html page. If we have index.html, you would be able to get that as a default page. So let me put dog home. Okay, so now we got the dog home. There you could see add new dog.html, where, I mean, right now we don't have anything in our database, and we would be able to view our modified pages, add trainer, everything. So in order to have index.html, what we could do is, I'm deleting this. But we want to see that covidlearning.herokuapp.com automatically. So for that, what we need to do is, I would recommend to, in the application, in the templates. So what you need to do is you can copy paste the home in the templates, and then instead of home 2, you could name it as index.html. Okay, click OK, and you have index.html. So now what you need to do is you have to do that push commit and all that stuff once again. Okay, so I'm not going to do all that stuff in the video. So what you could do is you could use index.html and use those 3 commands one more time. What are they? You would be able to do add to the git, add space dot, and then do the git commit with a message, and then git push Heroku master. Okay, if you do all those 3, then you would be able to get a default page whenever you open Heroku again. Okay, so make sure you do that with index.html, so that when we look onto your website, maybe some unique thing with your last name or something, and then we will be using the index.html for grading. Okay, let me test our application a little bit. Dog home, and for you index.html, I'm going to add trainers first. John Jimmy, add a trainer, and I'm going to add one more trainer, Becky Smith. I'm creating a new dog. I'm selecting 22, add new dog, creating one more dog. Okay, I'm viewing the dogs. I'm able to see all my dogs here. Remember, this is not on your local host, okay? So you deployed. For any web application, deployment is hard. Otherwise, you would be just using it for local host. And you know, I also have modified my code for edit functionality as well, where you could change from puppy to zippy. I don't know the dog names very well, but greyhound to maybe bluehound. And I'm selecting my trainer as well. Earlier, what was it? 22, right? So it was 22 earlier. Now I'm changing it to 3 and submit. Okay, so zippy bluehound 3. So basically what was happened was I click edit, and then I edited a dog, and then I would be able to come back to the views dog page. Okay, so okay, I didn't select the trainer here. Okay, so I'm selecting the trainer. So now it's a 3. Okay, so you have to select the trainer. So I modified the functionality. You don't have to do that. If you want, you could do that. Okay, so now what's the next step? So now I have to see the database. Okay, so usually in MySQL, we saw what has been added, how many rows has been added, what are the details, right? So since this is the app that has been installed, deployed on Heroku, now we want to see how we should see the data. Okay, and we will see that data in our next video.